welcome back to Together We Inspire. My name is Maria, and I'm one of your co hosts, and we have,
Hello, my name is Nancy Salcedo.
and together we inspire. Welcome back, everybody. We have so many fun and new things that have come up with the podcast. We did not go away, we only went away for the summer, and we are back with new system, a new location, Nancy.
Let me just go into my feelings, Maria, because I am so happy to be back. It feels good. I feel like I haven't seen you for the last 3 months.
And you
I
haven't. You
and I
ignore
missed
me.
this. I seriously missed this. We want to give a shout out to the Imperial Library for hosting us today.
Yes,
Thank
yay!
you.
The Imperial Library, the city of Imperial, and we also have a new team. So I would like to thank also Main Entertainment, Edgar and Omar. Thank you so much. They are doing a recording and editing and social media. They are they're great. We're so happy to have them on board. Yay!
Yay!
And so we also have a new way of doing our podcast now. We're going to have seasons and episodes. So today is episode 1 of season 1. And how are we starting this new episode?
So for this month, we figured, you know what, the library is hosting, so the least we could do is focus on literacy. So the topic for this podcast is literacy.
Yes, and it is Literacy Month, Nancy.
Yes.
The last day of Literacy Month, but we are here doing it. So I am, for me, the library brings in a lot of memories. As a kid, I spent so much time in the library. It was a great, getaway for me and learning. So when I was little, I started school. I had to learn English. I did not know English, but I learned English by reading. So I could read better before I started speaking it. And it's like a full circle for me to come back and be here at the library host being doing this podcast here. So it's great. It's great.
You know what? Same for me. I grew up in LA, but my time was always at the library, especially because we did have a computer at home, but we had dial up internet. So in order to have like all the information for any reports or any research that we had to do, I had to go to the library. And I have to admit something, and I'm honestly embarrassed. I think I shared with you. I have a 9 and a 6-year-old, and they haven't been to the library. I'm sorry, Amber. I'm sorry, library, but I promise, I'm gonna make an effort. I walked around. I'm familiar with the library, but I just haven't come around to bringing them. But I will soon.
Yes. And it's just not just about having a book and reading a story or reading a bedtime story to your kids. I mean, literacy goes way beyond that. It goes, they become lifelong learners. It opens up your imagination. It opens up a whole new world. At least it did for me.
Mhm.
For me, I remember learning to read, and it was, I can't remember the name of the book, but it was something maybe John and Jane or something like that. And they lived in a nice house with, a nice street, and they had cereal Saturday mornings and they watch cartoons. I'm thinking, wow, I had to have like a full breakfast, Mexican breakfast, And I
Instead
thought,
of
oh my
having
God,
cereal.
people live like so different from me. And for me, it opened up a door. And I think I want to learn more. I want to see what else they're doing. And, and it started. That's how it started. And, from then you go to other books. And what's your favorite book, Nancy?
I just had a flashback though before I share my favorite book. I just had a flashback of me reading like Goosebumps and The Babysitter's Club. I don't even know if those books are still around, but
Yes,
I
they are.
are they
Amber says
okay, oh
yes.
see? Okay,
Amber.
those were my books. My favorite book, you know what? 50 Shades of Grey. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't think you're
Am
kidding.
I kidding?
It's okay. It's okay. I have all the books. I read them. Saw all the movies. No judgment here. You're fine. You're fine.
Thank you. I was kidding, Maria.
And so, growing up, you do all the kids, the children's books, and whatever. But one of the biggest things I think culturally, the difference. My parents did not read me bedtime stories. So when I found out there was Mother Goose, I'm like, oh my God, these kids are so lucky. Mother Goose, I was put to bed,
With La Llorona.
La Llorona, like stories of La Llorona, which is not a good mother. She's a bad mother. She's a ghost. I'm like,
And you know what? It makes a huge difference though, because I remember reading to my son when he was a few months old though. And I mean, with him, I want to say he started saying his first words when he was 10 or 9 months. And with my daughter, obviously, like you get busier, it's another one. And she didn't start talking till she was about 2. And
Mm,
I see the difference. I see, you know what? This kid was definitely read to. The other one, my poor child, like I didn't read to her until now.
yes.
Yeah.
No, it's great. I think it starts at home. Literacy starts at
Mhm.
home by reading your bedtime stories and get them interested in stories, storytelling.
Mhm.
Um, so I did my part. My kids they don't like reading, and I'm like, oh my god, I from being a great reader, and I was
Mhm.
an avid reader. I would read a book or two a week,
Mhm.
and big books, not just little books. But you go through your at least since I was such a big avid reader, I would read. When you're a little kid, you read all the golden books and Mother
Mhm.
Goose, and then you go on to
Mhm.
whatever you
Mhm.
like, biographies or whatever superstar was out there. They had a book, I would read it, and then
And then there's just something about having that physical book. Like instead of like I know there's the ebooks, there's the Kindle and all that, but just the flipping of like the pages or my daughter just checked out a book I want to say a couple of days ago, and it has that card that says when you have to return it by, and she
yeah,
knows the date, like we wrote it on our fridge, but she keeps telling me, hey, we have to return it on this day. You have to make sure that you remind me.
oh,
And we still read that book. We read it 3 times already.
oh,
So
okay,
no, it definitely starts at home.
yes,
Yeah.
and we take literacy for granted, at least here in United States and the world we live in. You think, oh, you go to school, you get educated, you read a book, but there's still places in the world where it's not you can't take it for granted.
Hmm.
It's a privilege to
Hmm.
be literate, to
To have access to just a public library and
or
for
a
it to be
book
free. Yeah.
or an education.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to believe, but it's still there.
Hmm.
My mother was telling me, she would always tell us, you guys need to read, you guys need to go to school, get an education. And we're like, okay, 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 we'll do it. But I never understood why, because she didn't tell us till a few years ago. And she was telling me that she was not allowed to go to school.
Hmm.
So they pulled her out from first grade.
Wow.
So she didn't finish first grade. And so it always, she always resented it. Like
Okay.
she was not allowed. She could barely read and write. And I knew she could barely read and write, but I didn't know like to what length.
Hmm.
So she was needed at home, helping to cook, helping to do the wash. And she said, I'd be there washing. I would see my friends and my cousins pass by on their way to school. And when she told us that, I felt, you know, it's I just couldn't imagine that,
Hmm.
like wanting to go to school and not being allowed to go to school.
And at first grade, she was what, probably 6. So
6, 7,
imagine,
yes,
yeah, like imagine this time around, like taking that right away from your kids, like how
yes,
and having them do chores around the house. That's
yes. So it's one thing for a child to say, "I don't want to go to school today."
mhm.
It's another thing to say you're not allowed to go to school.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
Like school is for other kids, not for you.
Mhm.
That's terrible.
Mhm.
That's a horrible, horrible thing. And we do have that in today's age.
Mhm.
There's countries that girls are not allowed to go to school.
Mhm. And you know what? You brought up a really good point. I know as far as in Mexico, like where my parents are from, that was the same situation too.
Yes.
My mom, I think she went to 8th grade, and then she couldn't go to high school because she had to take care of her younger siblings. And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until she was like 17 and she had raised 3 of her younger siblings that they were like, okay, well, now you can kind of pay your way. You can go back to school,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like during like the evening or like night classes, like so whenever she was done
Yeah.
helping at home, that's when she would finally have the opportunity to go back.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
she did it.
she did it.
She did it
Yeah.
because she wanted to have that. She
Yeah.
wanted that for herself.
Hmm.
And, and that's great. But,
Hmm.
that she went after it, she didn't just leave it
Yeah.
for, no, it's, literacy affects everybody differently. So it's not just about reading a book. It's not just about learning to read.
Hmm.
It goes beyond that. It opens doors. It's, how about imagination? It's a story.
And now that we were talking about like starting at like at a young age, I just realized like the pandemic babies, they're in school, so this is their first year, so they would be
Yeah.
starting kinder. And I did some reading too, and I know it's affecting some of them. So like all the ones that were not placed in like into daycares, they're lacking those social skills that any other kid that was in race during the pandemic they should have had. So
Yes.
that's huge, and it's something that was completely out of our control.
No, you're right. And
Mhm.
so going forward, I mean, how is that going to affect them
Exactly.
in the rate of the reading, in the rate of their education? Um, how far are they going to go?
Yeah.
It is going to have an effect.
Mhm.
Just like anything, you think back to the Great Depression and what that did to education
Mhm.
when people didn't have money for books or education.
Mhm.
And, but, stuff like that sometimes makes people wanting more.
Yeah.
So whatever, if you think I grew up, at home in the pandemic, this is going to be called like the Great Pandemic.
Mhm.
Um, they might want to do it more because they grew up, in those years, shelter, you're indoors, you're afraid. And for some people in the pandemic, they come out of it and I want to see it all. I want to
Mhm.
learn it all.
Mhm.
And some of them are still, well, maybe I just need to
Afraid.
afraid.
Yeah.
I need to shelter
Afraid.
in place still.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and that's what it is. Literacy. It's also about stories. The story of the pandemic, story of the Great Depression. They're all stories, and they're all there for us to
Mhm.
read. And oh my God,
So we were talking
oh,
about La Llorona.
La Llorona. There's a book about La Llorona.
So
Oh,
La
this is
Llorona
neat.
can't scare me. La Llorona no me asusta.
Oh my God, where was this book when I was growing up? Man, she scared me.
I'm taking
This,
this book home
I'm gonna read
today.
this. So that was my bedtime story, La Llorona.
That's
Oh my
cute.
God, this is neat. I need to look at this book once I'm done. That is so neat. But yeah, so stories again, like La Llorona in Mexican culture, it's so big. Everybody knows who La Llorona is, and
Mhm.
it scares people.
Yeah.
And I'm so funny that it's now here, like culture in the United States is a book about La Llorona.
I know.
Yeah, man, where was Mother Goose when I was growing up? But and so going back to our literacy talk of how people are denied uh, literacy or education or learning to read, how important that is, and stories like mom's story. It's a story about literacy.
Mhm.
And
And obviously, it's because she went through all this. Her goal as a mom, whether she had the words to express it or to mention it or not, is I don't want my kids going through this. And obviously, now,
yeah,
um, as moms, we never want our kids to face the challenges or the situations that we faced growing up. So, I bet like the first thing that you did when you're raising your kids is, you know what, you have to make sure that you go to school, you have to make sure that you read, but you had a reason behind it. Like you
yes,
have to make sure that you're educated. You have to make sure that you know what's going around in the world because knowledge. I mean, it's gonna sound like cliche, but like knowledge is power.
it is power,
Like
and it takes you places.
yeah,
So it's not just learning to read and graduating from high school. It's where you're gonna go from there.
and it's the only way to carry a
All
conversation. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Or learn, other place health. How are you going to, if you don't know how to read,
Hmm.
you're not going to be able to know the side effects of your medication, or
Exactly.
go search for your doctor and see if there's any
If he has
complaints.
good reviews or not. If he's on
Yes,
rants and raves.
right. Rants or raves.
So for those of you who don't know, we are in the Imperial Valley, and we do have like a rants and rave page. It's all over like Facebook and social media. So when we say like
Oh my
reviews,
God.
good or bad,
It's-
that's where you would find them.
you don't want to be on there.
You don't want to be on
No.
unless it's something good about
I
you.
don't
Yeah,
think
it
I
can
even I
either
don't
make
want to
you
be on there.
or break you.
Yes. So so it goes to everything. It covers like literacy is part of our lives, every little aspect. You go to the grocery store, go to
Yeah.
the doctor, you want to make travel plans,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And then from there, it's like you can take it even further and you say, I learned to read already. How about I learn to read and French? I
Hmm.
want to learn another language.
Hmm.
So
And the expectations are so different now. I mean, I don't remember how it was with me growing up, but I don't know if I if I started reading at first grade, now it's an expectation. Like kids should know how to read by first grade. So they're five or six.
Yes, and I think some parents push it in kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
Like they want their child to have basic reading skills in
Yep.
kinder. It's so competitive though, because every kid learns differently. And
True.
so for some, it's not just here's a book that you don't know, go ahead and read it, or let's read it. And I'm like, well, they may not be interested in La Llorona, or maybe they're not interested in reading per se. They might be, but if you tell them this is a story of a mom and she's a ghost
Mm-hmm.
and she scares kids and she's looking for her kids. Not only does she scare her kids, she scares all kids all over the world. Well, now when I read that, who is that?
Yeah.
Right? So it's how you present things. How do you
Yes.
present the book? The book is a story.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell them, kids all over Mexico are scared La Llorona.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and in the United States too, says Ember. Yes. Um, so I think storytelling is huge, and and like I always say, every woman behind every woman there's a story,
Mm-hmm.
behind every person there's a story, and some people are very good at storytelling and writing it down for the rest of us so that we can read it. And I love that. I love that. So it's not just education. So some of the areas literacy helps you in your education, how far you're going to go in your education, your employment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good to be literate, right? If you want to go the higher, get a better
Mm-hmm.
position, the
Mm-hmm.
better communication skills you have, the better. Your health, of course, you want to understand what's wrong with you.
Uh-huh.
A civic engagement. I mean, all the laws are going to affect just this year. Everything going on with the state, and you want to be able to read about it and understand. So comprehension, reading comprehension is
Mm-hmm.
huge. So it affects your adult life, not just as a child. As a child, you want to hear Mother Goose, you want to see what Dr. Seuss has to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're an adult, you want to see everything. How about dating? How about when you're dating, like and hey, you might be so attracted to this guy, he's good looking and stuff, but it's gonna fade sooner or later. And then you're gonna go, okay, what does he have
True.
to say?
True.
If he's not interesting, I'm not interested.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You bring up a really good point. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
If you can't carry a conversation, if you're not interesting, if
That's the
you're
end of
not
the
reading,
date. We're
that's
done.
the end of the date. Exactly. Yeah. And you know what? Something
Mhm.
really about unique about the Imperial Valley too is the language, because obviously we want to make sure that we are relating these messages as you're going to hear me talk about like parents a lot because I have two kids, but that we're relaying these messages to our kids. But then there's still those parents that don't speak English. I mean, the
Yes.
area that we are in, there's a lot of Spanish speakers.
Hmm.
So how is it that as a parent you help your kid read when you don't speak the language? And that's where we have the resources like the library. That's where they come in because there is tutoring available as well. There's resources as well.
Yes. Well, you know what? My mom, was barely literate and she did not know English,
Hmm.
but she always pushed for us to be reading. And then, if she saw us with a book in the hand, she was fine. Okay, she's reading, she's learning, that's good. And sometimes she was like, "What are you reading?" And so this was my teen years. I was reading romance novels. I'm like, She looks. Let me see that. And she looked at the picture. She's like, "What is this book about?" Oh, well, they're friends, and you're trying to. You couldn't fool her. She was like, "I know what you're reading." Trashy novels. And she
Oh
didn't know the
my.
language, but still she could get it.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I think it's just as a parent being there for them, making sure there's a book, uh, entice them into reading.
Hmm.
Find so some kids don't want to read novels. They don't want to read science. They don't want to, biographies. So my son was the Goosebumps books, I
Hmm.
think, or comic books, and I thought, oh, that's not really, how about a novel? How about something big, something, and he wanted comic books. And I'm like, oh, here we go.
The
Goosebumps. The
goosebumps.
goosebumps. You were a fan, weren't you? I
I
can see it. I
was.
can
Let
see it
me
in your face.
see.
I can see it in her
What's
face.
the year on this one? You're not gonna get me to tell you how old I am, though. But yes,
Oh, what did you read?
and
Okay.
it's the smell of the books too. They still have that. It's the smell. Yes, the girl who cried a monster.
And you read
Check
it.
this book out. Read it if you haven't.
It would change your life.
It's gonna change your life. Yes.
And the R.L. Stein books.
And you know what? You're mentioning that it just takes you to other places and that it sparks your imagination because I'm an introvert and I was very, very
No, you're
shy.
not an
I
introvert.
am. I am. And I was really extremely shy growing up. But then just reading them, like it would put you in these situations where you believe you could do certain things, kind of like you.
I can fly.
I well, maybe not fly, but it just made you believe, like, you know what? I'm reading this book. This girl can do it all. She did this. Maybe I can do it as well. Kind of like how you were reading the cereal, and you're like, you know what? I wonder what it would be if instead of having chilaquiles for breakfast, like
I can
I
have
would have
cereal.
cereal. Like, why is it that I'm not having cereal?
Yes,
So
exactly.
depending on the book that we read and that interest that it sparks, like it can make you dream and achieve something bigger
Mhm.
as well.
So that's where imagination comes in
Hmm.
with reading. It opens that door up.
Yeah.
And I mean, we used to, when I was growing up, even older than you, but it was a big thing because we didn't have all the toys. We didn't have the programming they have now or tablets or whatever. So you played around and built a world for yourself,
Yeah.
playing. It was imagination.
Yeah.
And I used to write a lot too when I was. So on my bucket list is to be, write a book someday. It's on my bucket list. Someday I'll get there. Not today. so so going back to your favorite book was
You want me to say it again? Do you want to admit that it was your favorite book too? Because you
no.
know what? I didn't even purchase the books. They sent them to me, so I have the digital version. You admitted that you have the hard copies.
The
She has
PDF.
you
I
have
have
the
the
hard
PDF. I
copies.
have all the hard copies of that book, and I have some of
Those
the
books
movies.
did not make me dream or want me to, or they didn't make me want to be something that I wasn't. Though that was like
Okay,
adult
okay,
life.
okay. I mean, I read everything. It can be like one of the classics. It can be, that book, 50 Shades of Gray. Um, no judgment, but but it's all part of who we are, right? And it's all about the freedom of reading.
Hmm.
That nobody's telling you, no, Nancy, you cannot read that book.
Hmm.
That's gonna mess with your head. No, but you can pick up that book if you want. You can pick up any book that you want. You can read whatever, and that freedom opens doors. And that's what I love about literacy. I love um I just love learning. It doesn't matter what it is.
Hmm.
I mean, who's to judge? As long as you're reading, right? As long as you're
Hmm.
reading, doesn't matter
Hmm.
what you are.
Hmm.
Um, but I did read. So one of my favorite authors was Maya Angelou, and she was a poet. I almost got to meet her once, and I couldn't make it. You know, and I was like, oh, I regretted it because she passed away after that. But she was wonderful. She was an activist. She was a poet, a
Hmm.
writer. I mean, she was amazing,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing lady. And I was also big into poetry. So Edgar Allan Poe was
Oh
one of my favorites still
yes.
to this day. Just his dark poetry is what I
Yeah.
call it, and I love it. Love it. So, and it does shape us. It does make us think, oh, what else do I want? What else is out there? Where else,
Hmm.
what else can I do? Um, there was another one. I can't remember his name now. Uh, but he I went to London years ago, and where I was at, he was buried there, like underneath, and I saw like his tomb, and it had there. Oh, I can't remember the saying. I should have written it down.
Was
But
it like a
something about
quote?
seeing a life in a grain of rice.
Does anybody know what we're talking about? No.
No, okay. I'm gonna have to come back to that because it was really amazing to actually see it. Chat
Chat GPT.
GPT. I'm gonna have to do that. But anyway, it's stuff like that. It just makes you dream. It makes you think. I
It
think
takes you
that's one of the
places.
literacy makes you think.
Hmm.
That's I think that's one of the biggest lines or some of the biggest things it can do for you. It makes you think.
Exactly.
So there's something to tell your kids: if you don't read, you're not thinking.
I know. I know. You're not understanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere.
Right? That
Yeah.
you only go places when it
Uh-huh.
opens doors,
I
right?
know. My son, he's not a reader. And he tells me, I want to be an engineer or an architect. Like, math is my strong. I said, well, I mean, can you read a math problem?
Can you
No,
read
I
the
can see the numbers.
directions?
Can you read directions? Okay, then there you go. You have to read. You have to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It-
not just math.
it's not just math.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. I know
So,
we have favorite quotes. Do you have any favorite quotes?
favorite quotes? I know I can't think of one right now. What's your favorite quote?
I know we talked about one. Um and what you know what? It's not necessarily a quote, but it's something that we've said. It's we take literacy for granted, but for some people in this world today, literacy is denied.
Yes. Yes.
And it's exactly what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. So it goes around. It just
Mhm.
comes full circle. Okay. So I think we're almost done with today's episode. Come back for more. We're gonna be doing. We have some really, really good things coming up. Um, now that we're doing seasons, we're gonna be talking about some of our Soar Optimist programs. And for the next one, we're gonna be talking about Live Your Dream.
Okay.
So that is an amazing program that we have for women, and so we'll see how that one goes. That's gonna be very. It's a very serious topic.
And you know what? But it goes hand in hand with education.
It does because we have a lot of our programs are
Uh huh.
educational base,
Yeah.
and we do push education a lot. Um, so I encourage everybody out there to follow us on social media. Give us a follow. Tell your friends.
We're not taking a break this time.
No, so we're doing seasons, and then so we're doing I think till December, right? That's season one, and then we'll come back um, next year, and then we'll start. No, I don't have it with me. Don't. Oh my God. So our social media information will be on the screen, so you guys can look at that and just please give us a follow. Yes, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify.
There we
So follow us
go.
everywhere. Follow us everywhere. And again, if you guys have something that you guys want us to talk about, make sure to send us a message. We'll be happy. Yes. Or send us a comment if you
You know
have a
what?
comment.
Tell us what your favorite quote is. Tell us what your favorite book is.
Yes.
Because you know what? I want to say there's more of you that really like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
You know what? Or you know what? Let's start like a comment thread or something. Like all of you that like 50 Shades of Grey, give it
Yes.
like a
Oh,
poll or
yeah.
something.
Yes. Yes. I want to be
Yes,
the only one. I
yes.
am a fan too as well.
See,
Of
there
course.
you
Yes,
go.
I am a fan. I admit it. I'm not
Yes, we're
judging, but
open to comments,
yeah.
suggestions, like any topics that you guys feel like you want to hear that we want to approach. Let us know because yes, we love education, but we want to cover like the real life topics. Like we want to know what you're interested in.
And if you have a story to tell, tell us. Tell us. I mean, we're very open to storytelling. Send a comment in. If you have a special story, share your stories anonymously if you like.
Oh,
We
that's
can
a
do that.
good one.
Yes. I mean, everybody has stories, and why
Any
not?
dark confessions too.
Oh, dark confessions. We're gonna have
Like
a section.
October, like you know how
Oh,
October is dark. We can do
any
dark
type,
confessions.
any type of confessions you want to do.
Mhm.
We're open. Bring it, bring it. We're okay with that. Okay, so I'm gonna end it with a quote. So I,
I
you
thought
know,
you didn't have a quote, Maria. I
I
asked you
have a quote,
earlier.
but this I was saving this one for the
Oh,
end.
okay.
Okay, I'm saving this one. So I think Amber will know this one. The more that you read, the more that you know, the more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Dr. Seuss.
There
Yay!
you go.
Yay! Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Till next time.
Thank you.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. My name is Maria,
And I'm Nancy.
and
And
together
together
we
we inspire.
inspire.